Good morning and welcome to another pre-market review session with the Market Trader. My name is Ray, the Market Trader. And before we begin, we need to take a good look at our risk disclosure, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so give me a moment here. We'll bring that up. All right, hopefully that's visible. Let's double check. Here it is. So just want to remind everyone that the content to share with you is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided by the company or contained herein is intended as investment advice and offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any company, security, or fund. We all understand that the information contained in is to be used at your own risk, and the company's partners, representatives, agents, employees, contractors assume no responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of such information. We all understand that future trading does carry a fair amount of risk. It's not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more of their investment capital. Only risk capital, money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle, should be used for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, nothing contained herein is intended as investment advice to buy, to sell futures, options, or Forex, and past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so now that we've gotten through the risk disclosure, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the news portal. Okay, and we're going to take a look and see, which I believe today is a fair amount of news. Okay, so we've already had a PCE report here. Let's kind of move this over here where I can better see it. Okay, there it is. Let's kind of confirm here that we're still visible. Okay, there we are. All right, so we just had PCE reporting, price index information report, consumer spending report, personal income month-over-month report, real personal consumption report, all reported here. And market is currently, I guess, digesting that bit of news. Now, what's in the horizon? Well, in the horizon, we still have the kind of some inflationary numbers coming out of Michigan, the Michigan sentiment report coming out at 10 a.m. And yeah, and that I think that's pretty much what we have coming up in news, right? So the brunt of the news for the week has already come into the market. Okay, now again, as I've kind of alluded to throughout the week, I believe this is the last day that the fund managers can make any sort of adjustments to their statements before they make them available to their clients. So as I mentioned, end of month is one of those periods where the market might behave a little bit more unusual than most, as investment fund managers or big money players in the market try to position these markets in a way that will allow them to produce monthly statements to their clients, to encourage them to continue to put money in their control. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind as we review the charts here. Okay, all right. Let's go ahead now and take a look at the markets. We'll go ahead and start off with the gold market. So let's go ahead and bring that up here. So we're going to start off with gold, and then we'll move our way through the various markets. Okay. So let's go ahead and share my screen. and we'll go ahead and start our. Okay, so take a look at the 4-hour chart here. Actually, we're going to start with off of the daily. Okay, so again, market continues to show weakness. Okay, so market continues to move to the downside. Okay, again, of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 candles, and this last one developing, we've had nothing but bearish candles outside of 2 of them. And the 2 candles that we did have that were bullish were more of the doji variety. Okay, so market is at the moment quite bearish. Okay, and it's difficult to understand exactly. Well, not difficult, but to kind of get a sense for where this market can go, assuming that we can break below this. What it appears to be. What is that? 3282. So already below 3300. The next logical level for this market, based on this chart, would be down to 3180. Is what it appears like to me. Okay, so the market is bearish. We're breaking structure as we head lower. All ingredients based on the daily for lower prices. Okay, so we're going to go ahead now and take a look at the 4-hour chart. We're going to go ahead and turn off our initial balance here for a moment. Okay, and get a sense for what the market is currently doing here. Okay, so looking at the 4-hour, okay, kind of zooming in on these daily candles. Again, we have a market that is sloping lower. Okay, so we really should be finding locations to or reference levels, I should say, where we sell strength. Okay, so up here at 3350 was a good location. Okay, ever since we came off of 3350, okay, was a nice location short. Now, and we've had again a continued series of candles to the downside. Okay, moving on to the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart. You can see that we've already appears to have exceeded the. I think this is for the London range, but I'll double confirm that. Might be Asia. Let's take a look. It's New York actually. Let's move that to London because New York technically is still not open. So we've already kind of exceeded the range here to the downside, average session range to the downside during the London session. Okay, and price is below our VWAP. Okay, all indications that we are in bearish price structure. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open up the fixed range volume profile. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the start of Thursday here. Okay, there it is, and then drag that across to the close of Thursday. Okay, and there we are. Okay, so you can see price is well below value. I'm going to go ahead and open up my visible range volume profile here to the right. So you can see that we are in a sort of unbalanced area, continuing to move and trend to the downside. Okay, so we're going to go ahead now and open up our initial balance range here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and open up initial balance, not for Asia, but for actually, it's good to know that the price extended Asia to the downside. Okay, so we've exceeded Asia's range, and there's a lot of overnight sellers in this market. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to modify this initial balance range to basically include the day session here. And you can see here that we're developing a initial balance that's quite bearish. Okay, so this is the very first 30-minute candle We still have one other 30-minute candle to create here, but the market does appear to be on the bearish side. Okay, so headed into the market, I would say that we need to continue to look for opportunities to the downside. Okay, we need to find locations where we can manage our risk. So again, I'm kind of looking at some areas here on the 30-minute chart. So certainly this area up here does appear to be an area that I would entertain opportunity. Okay, to the downside. I'm going to go ahead and mark that area in red. Okay, indicating that is a resistance area up here around what was that, 3300. Okay, so 3300 would be kind of a logical area, right? We've already kind of sold off this area. The assumption is that if we come back to this area, say along this VWAP zone, that would offer us a logical location to participate in the market to the downside. Okay, so yeah, so headed into the session, headed into New York, I would say that we need to continue to look for opportunities on the bearish side in gold. Okay, we continue to make lower lows and lower highs. Okay, we're below a lot of our indicators that indicate that that there's still a momentum to the downside, a volume delta, a cumulative delta, all indicating that there's further price action here to the downside. Okay. All right. let's go ahead now and move into the crude oil market. Okay, we'll take a look at crude oil. I think crude oil has already officially opened here. We'll take a look at the daily, and we've been in some kind of odd structure here. There was obviously an area of consolidation here on the bottom. Okay, consolidation on the bottom. I suspect that this move higher was a result of some of the geopolitical news that we received of late. And once that, I guess, news was kind of settled in, the market started to sell off here. Okay, so right now, I would say that we are still in bearish structure in the market. Our attempts to take the market higher has been met with, a fair amount of selling. Although we did manage to close not the strongest of bullish candles, but a bullish candle nonetheless yesterday, and we're currently developing yet another bullish candle. Okay, but definitely still in I would say control of the sellers in this market. Okay, moving down to the 4-hour chart. Looking at the 4-hour chart, you can see, I'm going to go ahead and turn off initial balance here for a moment. You can see that really haven't really made much of a headway here in either direction. Okay, we remain in some sort of consolidation range. So we've been in this consolidation range since basically the beginning of the week here. Okay, so we've got wicks on both ends of the candles here. Now, the one thing I will say is that we are seeing that our settlement price, which is the price in which the market uses to expire options, that is slowly creeping higher. Okay, so we had settlement price here. Settlement price is slightly above, and then we have another price here slightly above. So we are seeing a little bit of how we say higher highs and higher lows. But honestly, this is a market based on this swing here, a market that's still very much dominated by the bears. Okay, we've been at these support levels for some time, have not found much in the way of buyers to drive price higher. Possibly, maybe they are in the process of accumulating. It's hard to say. Okay, but since Tuesday, or since the beginning of this week, we've been in a steady consolidation range. Okay, moving into the 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart. Again, we're going to go ahead and take a look. And again, we can see as we zoom into these candles here, we're going to go ahead and turn on initial balance here. If I can locate it. Yep, there it is. We're going to turn on initial balance. We have a relatively small initial balance range. Okay, So let's open up our fixed range volume profile, and let's take a look and see what the market is saying. Well, actually, where the price is in relation to yesterday's price range. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the start of Thursday and drag the chart here to the close of Thursday, and you can see that price remains inside value from yesterday. Okay, so that is kind of indicating that there's really no strong direction that participants are currently taking this market. Okay, now with that said, we seem to be developing a little bit of a demand zone here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mark that in as green. Okay, so this area as demand. So of late, and overnight, we managed to break a little bit of structure here to the upside. I would say that we're still below some structure, so we're just going to kind of maybe mark this area here as an area of some resistance here. Okay, and that's around this looks like around 66. Okay, so we have created a little bit of an area of demand. Price has not been able to get inside this area, okay, without being met with some buyers, okay. So there is a case to be made here that if price does manage to get above 66 and hold, that this area that I marked in red could be a supportive area. Okay, currently that is pretty much was this a high of initial balance here is 65.80. So this 66 level does appear to be an area of maybe a decision point that maybe some of these market participants need to make. Okay, so it'll be interesting to see how price continues to behave around this 66 level. If we do manage to get above it with some volume, okay, right, then that would indicate that maybe that we have some participants that are willing to drive price higher in this market. Okay, so headed into the session, I would say that I think this is a market that we need some additional data, okay, and additional insights to really understand what direction do they wish to take the market, because you can see here, right, across the board, price as far as VWAP is concerned, we're above it, we're below it, we're above it, we're below it, we're above it. So again, it's just indicating to us that this is a market that really does not have much in currently much of a defined trend in any direction. Okay, so that's something to consider, especially if we're looking for some momentum trade of any kind here. Okay. All right, so that's what I have. So headed into the session, I would say that we're looking at a market that is quite balanced. Okay, a market that probably is not looking at least at this point in any one direction. Possibly, maybe to the upside, because I am seeing a little bit of demand here. Okay, but we need to be wary. Okay, since we are still technically in some bearish structure here, that this could just be another area for maybe a continuation move to the downside. Okay, because we still remain very much in bearish structure. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and move on to the Nasdaq. Okay, looking at the Nasdaq. All right, we'll take a look at the daily chart. Okay, so daily chart. Okay, so market has been on a steady climb. Okay, we've kind of continued to break price structure to the upside. Okay, there's really nothing to the left of the market here that really could cause the market to stall, right? So we're in kind of I guess an area of price discovery. Okay, market continues to auction to the upside, and so far the market has been receptive to that move. Okay, so daily chart again looks quite bullish. You can see that we are sloping to the upside, right? Nothing here that indicates that we are currently selling off, right? So if right now it looks quite bullish. Okay, moving down to the 4-hour chart. Looking at the 4-hour chart here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and turn off the initial balance area here for a moment. Again, drilling into these candles. Okay, so this is, I guess, one of candle here that's maybe giving us some indication of some weakness. Okay, but we've been down here before. Every time that we've had any sort of weakness, it's been bought up. Okay, right. So we had a little bit of weakness here, bought up. Currently have a weakness here. Is that going to continue to be bought? We'll have to see. If it isn't, okay, well, again, the next logical level for price to go here would be this level down below here around 22,005. What is that? 535. Okay, that would be an area of some support in this market. Okay. Moving on to the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of volume analysis here. Trying to get a sense of what kind of the volume, what is the volume saying right now? Well, we've got, it appears we've gotten some sell volume coming into this market. Okay, so you can see that the volume market orders, sell market, we're getting some sell market orders in this market. Okay, so we've gotten price to at least get below VWAP. So I would say that reaching settlement is not out of the question here. Okay, over the short term, as we are about 20 minutes before the open of the session. Let's go ahead and look at our fixed range volume profile. We'll take a look here and see where price is in relation to yesterday's session. We're going to go ahead and drag that across here. There we are. Okay, so you can see that price is currently above value. And from the looks of it, it looks like it's going to potentially challenge value here in the short term. Okay, looking at this 22,692 level. Okay, this being value area high. Okay, so this could serve as a location for price to potentially move away from. Okay, bounce. This could be a bounce area. Okay, or we can come into potentially point of control, and that could also be another area where we could potentially bounce. Now, if we get below point of control and settlement, it would not be out of the realm of possibility here to fill in this area. Okay, to make this market a bit more balanced, to have some volume, come in and basically trade in this area to create a more balanced volume profile. Okay, so it would not be out of the realm of possibilities here that we make our way inside value and potentially hanging out in this area here for the remainder of the session. Okay, so I would say right now, while on the higher time frame, we appear to be and continue to be bullish. I'm seeing some maybe short-term bearish activity coming into the market. Okay, so maybe some profit taking potentially coming into this market, or wanting to maybe arrive at some sort of fair price as we close the week and close the month. Maybe to secure some of the monthly statements that these investment managers, portfolio managers are managing for their clients. Okay, so so again, short term, it does appear to look bearish, but I'm going to be looking for maybe some areas, opportunities here. We have the ASR here below. This is just kind of confirm this is a London time. It is. Okay, so we have another area here around 22,631, which would be kind of another logical area for a bounce. Okay, this area right here, 22,630, would be a logical area for a potential bounce in this market, and that's also coincides with the average session range high from yesterday. Okay, So you can see, right, looking at these value ranges, that we continue to drive price higher. Okay, so we are in the bullish market, seeing potentially some short-term bearish activity. Okay, all right, moving on to the S&P. Looking at the S&P, starting off with the daily chart here. Okay, it's got a kind of very similar look and feel to the NASDAQ. Okay, so you can see on the daily chart, we continue to drive a fair amount of momentum to the upside. Market that is making higher highs and higher lows, which is aligned with our bullish view. Okay, moving down to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, kind of drilling into these candles here. Again, we see the same kind of structure here. Nothing to indicate that we are in any short time or change in sentiment kind of market. We are in a market that is continuing to look to move higher. We are seeing a little bit of weakness at the moment with this development. We have we have a selling wick. Okay, there was an attempt to make a price to move higher. For now, price has been rejected to the upside, and we're starting to develop a little bit of a bearish candle here. Okay, moving down to the 30-minute chart. Looking at the 30-minute chart, we are inside some sort of inside the ASR range. Okay, this is our statistical range that we talk about also often. Okay, so we're in the middle of this range here. Okay, price is below VWAP. All right, and we've been kind of hovering above and below VWAP of late, so kind of giving us a little bit more of, I would say, more kind of range price action of late. I'm going to go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile. We're going to go ahead and locate the start of Thursday, drag that across to the close of Thursday, and you can see that price is and remains above value from yesterday. Okay, so if we are going to move and we are interested in maybe participating in this market to the bullish side, well, we could do a lot worse with respect to price references than settlement and point of control. Okay, so these areas down below here around 6,200 does appear like an area that could serve us well for potential execution to the upside. These areas down below. Now, if we manage to get below some of these areas, even below, say, 61.86, then maybe that opens the door maybe to some further bearish price action. But my view, based on what I'm seeing on the higher time frame, this appears to be just a minor, potential minor pullback to an area where we could find some additional buying to take place. So this level here around 6,200, 61.95.75, which is settlement. Point of control here at what was that, 61.90. These are all logical areas that where we could potentially find buyers of this market. Okay, so we're still about 12 minutes away from the market opening, so I'm not going to open up initial balance because the market has yet to open. But I would say that if we're looking bullish, then we need to, I guess, demand better price action, better price levels, and I would say settlement and point of control here around the 6,200 level does appear to be that area. Moving on to the Dow. Okay, I'm going to take a look at the Dow. We're going to start off with the daily chart. Okay, daily chart. So the Dow of all the markets even appears to be even stronger. Okay, so we're seeing that we opened up what appears to be, we've opened up with a gap. Okay, we opened up with a gap here. So the other two markets we had, I guess, that we're developing a little bit of a bullish candle, but not with a gap. So that is obviously showing some strength. Moving down to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, you can see that price is above our settlement. You can see that price continues to break structure to the upside. And you can see that our point of control is on the upper end of our volume profile, which is an indication that there is I guess acceptance of higher pricing in this market. Moving down to the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart, again, we are in the middle of the session range. Notice that price is right on top of VWAP here. Okay. We unlike the other equity markets where we were seeing that price had actually managed to close below. We're seeing maybe a little bit more strength in the Dow at the moment. Again, we have the same logical levels here. If we are buyers and we're looking for a little bit of a discount, then I would say that this level here around what was that 43,700 does appear to be an area of interest. And that would not only get us to a good price level, but it would get us to an area where we fill in this gap that's been created on the open of this market. Okay, so yeah. So again, bullish market showing maybe a little bit of signs of maybe momentum slowing down here a little bit. So again, I'm going to be focused in on some of these levels here down below for participation. This whole area down below. Let's go, just kind of confirm here. I think I know the answer to this question, but I will go ahead and open up the fixed range volume profile here and just kind of confirm what I already know, that price is above value. Okay, indications of that there is continued interest to the upside in this market. I'm going to go ahead and open up this anchored VWAP here for London. Okay, so there we are, and you can see that price is hovering at or in this case slightly below London. Okay, so do not rule out the possibility of maybe a little bit of a pullback down to these levels. Okay, from here, the current level here around 43,880. Do not rule out the possibility of us coming back down to, say, the 700 range in this market. That's certainly within the realm of possibilities here. Okay. All right. So let's summarize here with the last 8 minutes remaining of this session, or actually last 8 minutes before the start of the session. And take a look at the gold market. Again, gold market appears to be continues to be bearish. Okay, so we need to continue to look for opportunities to the downside. We need to look for opportunities, obviously, to sell strength so that we can better manage our risk. But the market does appear to be bearish. Crude oil also showing some signs of some strength. We're starting to see our settlement price kind of move higher. Here we're at a known resistance zone here, or at 66. We made one attempt that failed. We've come back a second time that failed, but not to the same degree. And now we are again back at that same level. So I would say that crude oil is showing some signs of some bullish behavior that could maybe potentially lead us back up to the 66.70 range. That would be an average move for crude oil. And so I would say that crude oil is looking a bit bullish, okay, on the short term. And then across all the equities, some stronger than others. We were saying we were talking about the various markets, and of the three markets, the Dow seemed to be the strongest of the three. Okay. We are seeing price get below VWAP, which is a rather big development of late in these markets. I would say that if we are continuing to be bullish on these markets, that we have settlement price here sitting at 22,667, that could serve as a logical location for price. And then we have the top end of the ASR high that could also be supportive. as well as the low of ASR here around 22,630 or so. Otherwise, I would not rule out the possibility of maybe price heading all the way back down to this highest point of volume here, to a balance area down here around 22,560. So market on the short term, I would say on the equities, certainly on the Nasdaq and the ES. On the short term is looking a little bit bearish, just because we're below VWAP, and that's always kind of serving as kind of a little bit of a sentiment indicator for me. So if we do manage to close below this VWAP, that would kind of give me a sense that maybe the bears are taking a little bit of more of a aggressive control here of this market. If we don't and remain above, then obviously the path will continue to head higher here. Okay. So yeah, thank you, George. Okay. All right, thank you, George. So we'll go ahead and close this session, and wish everybody a very restful weekend. So we'll close the session as we close all sessions. Trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. Have an excellent trading day, guys, and we'll talk again next week.